Hi folks, you're with Tacitus Today. Tacitus Today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about entrapment, how the diversity, equity, inclusion, and the HR managers and this whole range of social justice warrior oppressor class, the bully class that exists, and how they've been trained through high school and college and so on, that every straight white male, particularly the older ones, is a Nazi, if not Hitler personally. And their job is to make sure that social justice is enacted, that the Nazis are brought to book for their evilness, that is straight white males. And only the profuse groveling and kowtowing will maybe get you a free pass. But I just want to have a look at that. Now, I did a video that included this sort of topic a few days ago, and I got quite a few people responding, sort of saying, "Well, hey, tell us more. How do we behave in this?" And I've touched on some of the ways you can deal with it in the other video, but I'll do the whole video just on this subject alone. So now it's a bigger and bigger issue because more and more people, anyone under the age of 40 now has been through Nazis are everywhere type indoctrination and training, and it's becoming more and more severe. And the so-called anti-Nazi training is now almost instilled in every course in university. It would be medicine, law, or anything. Some of the lawyers that are coming out of college, some of the younger lawyers are just almost hysterical with their view that the world is awash with Hitlers. And their job as lawyers isn't to deal with the law or enact the law or follow the law or anything like that. Their job is to bring social justice by expunging all these Hitlers from the world. I mean, this is how mad and crazy some of these people are. So they perceive any social interaction as being an interaction of ideological power, and always the one who has the most power, which is prejudicially pre-assumed to be the straight white male, they are automatically then the Nazi and must in some way be punished for their being Hitler and everything like that. So I mean, it's insane, it's ridiculous, it's twisted, it's perverse, it's all of those things, but we nonetheless need to accept it's real. Now, not long ago, I was, and I'll explain some, and I'll explain how they do it, how they approach you, and also I'll show how treacherous and, in my view, illegal it is. And so this is a video, or this is how do you defend yourself and protect yourself against these goings on, and how you can fight back, and how at the very least you can neutralize what they're doing, if not go on the offensive. And you'll need to temper this with just caution, of course, but these are suggestions only, and this is how I would deal with it. So I'm suggesting that you consider some of these and maybe formulate your own way. But none of this is legal, as in what they're doing isn't legal. But they, given the insanity of our times, they're much more able to access the resources of the state to go and pursue you and crush you and take away your job and this sort of thing. Okay, so now here's a scenario. There was not that many years ago, actually, and we were sort of kind of subcontracting to this particular company to do a certain amount of work, and I happened to be at a computer doing something in their office, and I had like an oblique angle of view into the CEO's office, and now I'd heard some mutterings about the CEO and his I heard the other guy was like the deputy CEO or something. I heard some mutterings about as a guy they didn't like. They just didn't like him. He hadn't done anything wrong or done anything bad or broken any law. They just didn't like him. I'm not sure why. I mean, he struck me as being quite good at his job, so maybe there was jealousy and spite involved. And jealousy and spite play a huge role in these things, incidentally. I'll come back to that and cover it in more detail a little bit. So they contrived, they wanted to stick it up. I didn't know that they contrived that, but that was clearly what they'd been plotting. Now, I noticed as I was sitting there that they were putting, there was this, they had these quite exotic chocolates very expensive actually, very nice chocolates too. Had these chocolates, and the CEO was positioning one on the front of his desk, and it was almost like they were setting up his office for like a photo shoot or something. It was like they were putting pieces in place to do a stage play, or so I wonder what they're doing, and didn't really think much more about it. And again, I didn't have a full view. The door was sort of half open, and I had an oblique angle view into it. Then this guy comes by, and the CEO standing sort of near the door, and hey, Billy Bob, hey, you want some? This bit I could hear. Hey, you want some chocolates? I got these really good chocolates, and they're really nice. And he mentioned the brand name, and so Billy Bob goes, oh, well, yeah, okay. And so gives me, holds out the bowl, and he takes a couple of chocolates. No, take some more. Have some more for later, and maybe you want to take them home, or give it to your kids or something. And oh, thanks very much. Oh, do you have a moment? Just a moment, yeah. Now he's lulled him into sort of a false sense of security, offering the chocolates, and he's talking very folksy and very chummy. This is the CEO to the Billy Bob, and then he gets Billy Bob to, you got a minute? And Billy Bob would quite reasonably assume that it's going to be some pleasant chit chat, or some something pretty basic. Maybe even how's the weather? I mean, Billy Bob would be lulled into a false insecurity. He wouldn't be able to see what was coming. So, and this is done purposefully. So, in my view, this is treachery. There's no other word to describe it. It's premeditated, planned treachery to lull them into a false insecurity before they stick the knife in his back. That's my understanding of this, at least. So they get Billy Bob to come in, and then it turns into, look, then he and the deputy CEO guy, or could have been someone else, like the chief accountant or something like that, one of his trusted stooges anyway. Then they round on Billy Bob and say, well, we've had a very serious allegation made that you've behaved very inappropriately, and it is a very serious matter that we have to investigate. We've got no choice in this. We're not involving the police as yet, but it is very, very serious. And before we go any further, we just want to hear what you have to say. Now, at this point, most people will be so shocked. And again, the ambush value, and this is what it was an ambush, the ambush value. So they'd be gabbling and babbling, and they'd be panicking and blushing and ready to shit themselves. I mean, we're talking, you lose your job, the police, oh, fuck, Now, for the average citizen, that someone like this guy who'd never been unemployed in his life, who's got a spotlessly clean record in all ways, couldn't even spell the word courtroom, and so we're talking a Mr. Pill of Society, Mr. Clean type guy. They just don't like him, so they want to get. So this is the device they've chosen. Let's use this to get him. Now, Billy Bob babbles, and I can see from where he is, and they're now inside the other side of the door, so I can't hear every word. But Billy Bob's panicking. His voice raises, becomes more shrill, and as you would under those circumstances. Again, he's not a street fighting bruiser or anything. Far from it. He's a guy who does as he's told and follows instructions. He's not used to these internecine sort of punch ups or anything like that. He's a bit naive in this regard. So he's an easy target. He's an easy target for them, and so he's babbling, and now I can't catch everything he's saying, but I don't know. He probably could incriminate himself by saying so. There was for a few weeks ago I said a joke about well, that must have been it, Billy Bob. So Billy Bob's just incriminated himself. Then they can go after him. Well, that joke that's inappropriate, Billy Bob. We're going to have to put that on your performance appraisal, on your file. Billy Bob, we've got no choice. I don't know, Billy Bob. This is very serious. Would you like to resign? I mean, if you resign, we won't do anything more. If you resign, we won't take this any further. But if you don't resign, then we'll have to, and then he'll turn to the other guy. I don't know, should we call the police now? Or like, oh, police, no. And so they've got Billy Bob. Now, how do you respond to that? Because there's no complaint. There's no inappropriate behavior. There's nothing there. They've invented the whole thing. Maybe they got hold of a woman and tried to put her up to it, but that would fall apart under cross-examination in court, and they don't want it to go that far. They just want to scare the pants off Billy Bob, and this is the way they've chosen to do it. If they come at him in other directions, like his performance, or is he tardy or badly dressed or something? I mean, he's from the short time we were there, I don't think Billy Bob would have been any of those things. But so this is and this is really pretty fair because it'll panic most people, and that's why they use it. So okay, you get caught in that. So there's the ambush and then the treachery. They get you in there in false pretenses. The chocolates. I mean, how fucking piss weak is that? Oh, Billy Bob, you want some chocolate? Hey, have some more. Hey, no, take a couple more. Hey, Billy Bob, do you got a minute, Billy Bob? Do you want another chocolate? And then bang, and they hit him. So, and you can't sort of underestimate the shock and the hit value, if you like, of that sort of treachery and that sort of deceit and the ambush, of course. So what do you do? That happens to you. What do you do? Now you have to be quite calm, which isn't easy under these circumstances. So all right then. Well, this is how you respond. I would suggest one of the ways. You may have other ways in mind, but I would suggest well that is very serious. The CEO or whoever it is, that could be the HR operative. That is a very serious matter. Wow, no, and thank you for bringing it to my attention. Thank you. I really appreciate you going out of your way to bring this to my attention, and it is a very serious matter, and we should deal with it. And I want to thank you for raising it, Billie Jean or Jimmy Jack or whoever. So, and you look them square in the face when you're doing this. So you're projecting earnestness. So I do want to deal with this, and thank you again for bringing. So where did this happen? Where did it happen? And when did it happen? And what was said or done that is the cause of the offence? Can you tell me that? Now, they're not expecting that. I mean, there is no offence. Nothing's happened. Again, maybe they've set some woman up, promised her a nice weekend away or something if she'll perjure herself or if she'll pretend to be the aggrieved party. But that woman won't want to go into court and be cross-examined uphill and down dale by a barrister. She'll fall apart like a sack of shit. And the guys who put her up to it will know that they don't want it to go that far. So straight away, they're now on their kill shot sort of has fallen, has missed, and they go, oh shit. Well, we don't have to tell you. It's not our policy to we don't have to name the person. They have a right to remain anonymous. They can try that. All right, then, well, okay, the person, I still need, if we're going to discuss it, I need facts. What was done? When did it happen and where? And I need to know. If we tell you that, then we give the identity of the person. Well, then if you've got no facts, and if you've got no facts, how can we discuss it? Without facts, how can we discuss it? Oh, well, we don't have to give you facts. Well, you do, because we're trying to solve this. We're trying to deal with this. So we need facts to do it. And if you've got no facts, then there's nothing to talk about, is there? Unless you think facts don't matter. Do you think facts don't matter, Jimmy Jack? And you can, don't get too smart or smarmy on it, but respond that way. That should neutralize most of them. And then they don't know where to go, and they'll be looking at each other and thinking, oh, shit, we misfired on that one. They won't be expecting such a coherent response, especially when you come back and say, well, let's solve it. Let's do it. I thank you for telling me about this. Let's look at the facts. They're fucked because there are no facts. Let's suppose they've cooked up something. Then another way of dealing with this is a little bit more in your face and will encourage their resentment. Whereas if you do the show me the facts, their kill shot is missed. And they may let it go at that point or realise that, and they can't come at you a second time because that they've used up that ploy. The other way, which again could encourage resentment and they'll come back for another try, is if you whip out your mobile phone and press record. Now you say, okay, this is a very serious matter. It may end up in court. It could end up, and you look at the people involved. It may end up in court, and emphasise a court of law with the judge sitting there, lawyers cross-examining. Have you ever, hey, Jimmy Jack or Billy G, have you ever seen someone being cross-examined in court? Have you ever seen that? I have, and they, I see people getting cross-examined. Sometimes they're for hours, and then I saw this case where somebody was committing perjury, lying, telling lies in court. And the lawyer caught them out telling lies, and the judge said he's going to send them to prison for this thing called perjury, telling lies in court. They were sitting in the stand there, and they swore to tell the truth, but they told lies in court, and the judge said that it was perjury, and they could go to prison for it. Prison. I don't know. I can't remember how long. I think this person had like 6 months or something in prison for telling lies in court, committing perjury. It's very, very serious. Now, Andy, came back here. Let me just press record on this, because we really need to make sure we've got a clear record of the allegations or what happened. And so if it goes to court, we can play this, and that'll be your version of events, and my response is to the judge in the court. And you just cross-examine, perjury, and you emphasise these points. Now, if they've committed perjury, which they have, or they put someone up to committing perjury, they're now shitting themselves. And they know the consequences of this, that they're going to be exposed under cross-examination as having conspired to commit perjury, and that they could be in a lot of trouble. I mean, worst case is they're going to get a serious telling off, and they've got to pay all your legal expenses, and they got to pay you compensation, and they get, they don't cover themselves in glory, obviously, as a result of this. But that I've seen that sort of play. I've actually used it myself a couple of times on not the exact same scenario, but people trying it on, and they always back down. And I've done it on the phone too. You say, okay, well, Billy Bob, I'm recording this. I just want to let you know. And almost the second you say that, they hang up. They don't want their they know they can't go into court with a recording like this, and so they hang up. So once you press record on the phone, that becomes now a completely independent witness. Their witness, it doesn't mean shit. The recording is now the witness. That is the independent witness of who said what to whom, and so on. They don't want that. They can't win under those. They can only win with a stacked game, with false allegations and intimidation and bullying and so on. That's how they win, or perceive that they win. But once you do that record thing, I've noticed in the past, it creates a lot of resentment, because they see that you outfoxed them, outwitted them, and you won. You won that interaction. And so they're looking for some sort of, they're constantly looking for revenge and trying to hatch other plots. So, I mean, you can do that, but that could be not always guaranteed it will be, it could be a consequence. The bullying side of it, these people are shocking bullies. They think they're being moral, social, the morally superior social justice warriors getting Hitler or something like that. But they're nothing of the sort. They're just two big punk fucking bullies. I remember this is at high school, I was 12 years old or something. And at the local shopping centre, there was this guy who'd already left school. He was like 15. Solidly built guy. He must have been like double my size, Jesus. And he was a terrible thug bully. And he used to lurk around the shops, particularly after school, things like that, or at any time, but particularly after school. And he'd sort of lurk in places, and then he'd come out, but he'd always come behind you, and then he'd grab you and say, what did you say to my girlfriend? Yeah, what did you say? Now, I didn't, he called me a couple of times on this, but other people, I'd seen it going on. I didn't know who he was or who the fuck his girlfriend was, or even if he had a girlfriend. I think he did have one. That was just his line. What are you looking at? Yeah. What did you say to me? You talking to me? It's just that he's looking for, but he would only pick on, kids who are much smaller and weedy and that sort of thing. And what he wanted was, it was a power trip. What he wanted was that you would gabble, go, I'm sorry, oh, I didn't mean to, oh, no, well, you better apologise to my girlfriend. Yeah, I'll apologise. Yeah. Well, she's not around, so you better apologize to me before I fucking smack you. And it would be that sort of scenario. I don't recall him ever sort of trying that on people his own size or bigger. I think it was he seemed to like doing it on first year high school and skinny, scrawny ones at that, first year high school kids. So that was I remember that guy and his method of approaching of the false allegation, particularly the ambush thing and all that sort of stuff, and how he'd sort of follow you around, lurking and until you're in a spot where he thought he could strike, and then he would do it. So he put quite a lot of thought and planning into it. I would think, looking back. But he was clearly a thug and a so on. But the thugs today are the diversity officers that can call the cops on you or get you fired or get you, make sure you don't get that promotion or something like that. So they're able to hold the moral high ground where they do these things. It's not simply that they can beat you up, and they can use all the resources of the state and the legal fraternity to come after you. But to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's exactly the same. Now, that recent exercise that I had also had that deception, treachery, and trying to lull you in false insecurity. So they come into the room. I'm just leaving. No, you don't have to leave. No. Why don't you stay? Just stay for a moment. No, it's all right. No, you don't have to go. No, just stay. We're going to talk to someone. Just stay for a moment. And you go, oh, it makes a difference to me. Okay. We're just going to talk to Billy Bob over there. Did you mind if we close the door? Okay. Then they close the door, and then bang! Then the trap is snapped shut. We've had a complaint that you've been terrorizing, oppressing, Hitler, and so what? I just want to hear what you have to say. And now straight away I responded with facts. I need facts. If you haven't got facts, there's nothing to talk about. And they just didn't know what to do. And this was very well oiled, well rehearsed. These two have done this 1,000 times before, and obviously managed to pull it off. In the end, I had them apologizing to me, but that's not the point. The point is that they had this choreographed, rehearsed, scripted, lull you into false insecurity, entrapment, and they have to engage in treachery. And again, they did it quite well. I did from just a moment suspect, what are they up to? But they were able to, even an experienced guy like me, they were still able to spring the trap. So this is something that you should do, but always keep your wits about you and always ask for facts. They'll say the facts don't matter. We don't have to identify the person. Well, then you have to respond, well, if you can't give me any facts, we can't discuss it. Why don't you tell us what you did? Well, I haven't done anything. I'm not, if you say that there's something terrible's happened or some major, issue here, you need to give me the facts and I'm happy to discuss it. Are you refusing to give me the facts? Is that what's happening here? So you've got to keep going, facts. Show me the facts. So they'll keep going, well, you have to admit what you've done. Show me the facts. Don't admit to anything. Don't accept anything. Keep on asking for the fact. In the end, you'll defeat them. But they'll leave just feeling that they missed the kill shot. They'll see that it was a bit of a draw, that they didn't lose. Whereas when the recording device comes out, they'll perceive they lost and they'll plot revenge most of the time, not all the time. So I just wanted to give you that thing there. Remember, keep your wits about you. Ask for facts. Facts. Now they'll try and get you to say something incriminating. Well, what did you? You must have done something. You must know what you've done. Well, what did you do? You must know. I don't know what you're talking about. You have to give me facts. I'm happy to deal with the facts. Well, what did you do? You've done something. I can tell. What did you do? Come on, you might as well admit it now. Facts. Give me the facts. Don't let them say, because you might gabble something out. Oh, it could have been that joke I told last week. That was it. We knew you were Hitler, and so and then they've got you. You're now back on the defensive. So remember, stay on that. I'm happy. Rehearse the line in your head. I'm happy to discuss this further. It's very important. I want to discuss it. Can you give me the facts? If you can't give me the facts, I can't discuss it with you. No. Please give me the facts. Be polite. Don't say use four-letter words, because then they can use that against you. So stay calm, as quiet as you can, and keep on asking for the facts. In the end, they'll just have to go, and they'll let you go and realise, we missed the kill shot this time. But then next time, they can't come at you next time with another allegation or accusation like that, because A, you'll be ready, and B, it just looks really piss weak. You've been with Tacitus today, your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.